morning, top of the morning. Welcome to the Awesome and the Gizmo Show. Out here in these streets, early in the morning. Just dropped Gizmo off for school. Who's in here? Nobody's in here just yet. Glad to get this morning started off on a proper note. It is 8:22 in the morning. And we are moving. Yes, we are. Hopefully everybody's day is productive. All right. Everybody doing the things that are conducive to productivity and longevity. There go my girl, Miss Toombs, and the sister. I'm starting to think you're a loyal supporter. Now I appreciate Miss Toombs. I line myself up. What you think about that? I line myself up. Listen, I'm like a poor man's Idris Elba. Listen, hey, Miss Toombs, when I put them suits on, you can't tell me and Idris ain't beefing. I'm trying to tell you. I look like new money in this suit. Peace to you, peace to you. Miss Toombs, hopefully you slept well. I know you at work. You said you had to get up at 4. I know you got one of them 12-hour shifts. This video is extremely important this morning. This video is more important than others. Okay, yes indeed. This video, well, it's not more important. I think that everything I do is significant. But are you familiar with this guy, Mexican OT? Are you familiar, chat, with this guy, Mexican OT? I don't particularly know him. It just came across my feed. However, I've dealt with a lot of this stuff, so I always like to speak on the things that I know. I don't speak out of turn, and I can only speak to the things that affect me directly and affect my community, because those are the things that matter to me. Everybody else, I'm tired. That's okay, baby. You can do it. They told you were strong and independent. Remember, that's what they told you. They said you go, girl. Boy. They don't never tell nobody else that. Don't want to get off topic. Definitely want to discuss this guy, Mexican OT, and the likes of this. To give y'all a little background on me, if you are not knowledgeable, I actually did 16 years in prison. So I've lived this stuff firsthand. I've seen it, experienced it, been involved with it. Circumstances like this. When I was in West Virginia, the white boys said often, they throw it around like it's nothing, right? Because in West Virginia, the whites are the majority. And so you have a lot of weak blacks that just accept anything in order to, gain favor or to keep from getting jayed out. That's jump, right? So a lot of guys are never gonna really truly get into it with them. Well, I was different. Clearly, I could never stop any man from saying anything outside of my presence, because that's just what it was. However, when I'm in your presence, and if you think you're gonna disrespect me, then you have another thing coming, right? So what the Mexican said was, yeah, I can say whatever I want to say. What are you gonna do about it, right? This is why this is important. This is why this is important. I've often said that when people outside of our community use the N-word, they don't respect you. Now, there's people that have disagreed with that, and, they grew up with me, they came over to my house, they fought with me, or whatever it needs to justify allowing yourself to be disrespected. Because there's a lot of holes you can climb up under in order to justify that disrespect. But let me tell you one inalienable fact that you cannot get around. The very history of that word is so derogatory and has been so detrimental to our people. And the fact that they would even utter the word, if they truly respected you, they wouldn't even want to talk like that. That's what you cannot get around. If they truly respected you, white, Mexican, Asian, whatever your particular friend's ethnicity is, if they truly respected you, then they wouldn't even want to go there. So the fact that they want to go there lets you know they don't respect you, right? That is the major sin. Let's see what we got going on here. I haven't heard of him. I think he's a rapper. You experienced the booty bandit? No, sir. Ma'am? No, I didn't have those issues. No. It's cold in Georgia? No. Well, it's a little chilly out here, more so than yesterday. Hey, boy, did you drop the soap? Oh, we got a troller here. What's up? How you doing, man? Good, I appreciate it. Hit the like button, too, for me. The red too. That's a fact. So, one of the things that's very important when I speak these things is that what you need to understand more than anything is their lack of respect for you and for our community as a whole, right? So when he said, what are you going to do about it, right? When his stance is, I can say what I want to say, what are you going to do about it? What he's saying is, see, it's for you, because a lot of y'all, they think that a lot of black people speak Ebonics, and most black people are ghetto, but the majority of our people are very law-abiding citizens. They're not like me, right? Or like me in the past. The majority of black people are very law-abiding and only just wish to get along. You know what I'm saying? In society and do what's right. And you know they play by the rules, and they have bought into the American system, and they're not gonna buck it. So they don't understand when you're talking like this. Excuse me, ma'am. How you doing? They don't really understand when you're speaking like this. However, I do. What he's saying is, fuck you. Because you're too scared as a people and as a community, and I'm gonna do what I wanna do. That's what you can't get around. Why you get a bubble vest and a turtleneck on in Georgia. What's going on, Nick? Well, I'm from Detroit, and this is how I dress. So this is kind of my thing. I still have clothes, and I haven't been able to buy too much new over the last year. If you're new to my channel, you know what I'm saying? I haven't had a lot of money. So this is a lot of stuff that I had when I was up north. And then a lot of times it get a little more chilly down here today. So, and then I like to stay hot because I like to keep my weight down. I like to sweat. So hopefully that answers your question. Mr. Red Eye, listen, let him stick around. You know what I mean? What's up? Peace and love, black man. See, a lot of times these guys think that they matter. A lot of times these guys think that them being in the chat matters to a masculine man. But the truth is, you guys are cornballs. You're an internet troll, and you don't have nothing else better to do. And you would never say anything to me. Like, my reputation has spoken volumes and what I've done. So I don't particularly mind him being here. Let him stick around. Hang out, maybe you'll learn something, creep. That being said, to get back on task, the fact that these guys speak like this lets you know that they don't respect you. Lets you know they don't respect our community and our struggle and our people, right? So now that you know that, what is your black man? Because I'm dealing with the men. This is not an issue for women. Black men have to take respect. That this is not an issue. Like, what is a woman gonna do? She's waiting for her man, and she's taking her cues from her man. So there's that. So now what I've seen is you have black podcasters say, hey, these guys are cool. You know what I mean? These guys, you know what I mean? And they hung out with me and this, that, they broke bread. Let me tell y'all something in prison, how prison politics go. These guys do not kick it with you in prison. These guys do not kick it with you in prison. Hold on, I got something here. I got to read this comment. I hear what you're saying, but you're giving the word the power by blowing up the issue. Focus needs to shift on building community, using black-owned businesses and mentoring guys. Well, here's the thing. My response to that would be this. What other community will allow you to disrespect its people and just blatantly take that as if they don't have a choice, right? You have to understand these things are interconnected, especially when you're dealing with black people as a whole. Because black people's experience in this country is unlike any other experience in human history. The black man and black woman's experience in this country is unlike any experience at all. So therefore, that's why that has to be addressed. So I'm speaking specifically to my people. When you allow people to disrespect you, then what they do is they continue to disrespect you. Shout out to Dooney. You're getting old, bro. Who gives a about what goes on in prison? Well, Donnie, I'm not. First of all, respect for you. Thank you for being in here. I'm just talking about the penitentiary, but this goes on out here. And to get back on task with prison, how that coincides is these very same people don't align themselves with blacks in prison. They have their own communities. They deal with their own people. They eat, break bread in prison politics and things like that. Come up, they deal with their own people. That's the point. So what they do is they come in here to disrespect you. They don't respect you. And when you allow people to not respect you, then you don't get respect. That's what the point is. Jen Welp, what is the topic? We're dealing with Mexican OT and other races of people being allowed to say R-word. Are y'all okay with other races of people saying the N-word? That is really the issue. And the issue is that's primarily the issue. Secondarily, well, actually that's secondary. Primarily is why do you allow yourself to be disrespected? That's the issue. You think Nation of Islam is similar to the direction? Let me see. You think Nation, shout out to, I don't have no prison. Let me see. The substitute, how to get ahead in life while going to prison. The substitute, how to get ahead. Dooney, you got to text that again to me, so I want to make sure I understand you correctly. Fortunately for me, that was the decision that I made, and so I had to accept that. And then now, you know what I mean, you deal with what you have, and so now I'm trying to keep young black men out of there. Shout out to this. You think Nation of Islam is similar in the direction to go? Text that again to me. I want to make sure I'm understanding that correctly. People are disgusting and disrespectful. I don't mind it, Reddit, because I'm gonna tell you something else. I've been in places where I know what you would say to me. You wouldn't say nothing. So shout out to True Reddit. Yeah, shout out to you, Larry. I appreciate you being here. Mexican OT sounds like he's trash. I won't support him. I wouldn't support any person, you know what I'm saying, that allows himself to be disrespected. And you know what I'm saying? That disrespects my people. He thinks that that's okay. Let me see. I'm starting a project that helps people get out of prison and jail. Just like, shout out to you, Jen. Well, that's a wonderful thing that you're doing. Stick with that, because a lot of brothers do not have the support once you get out. This is why the recidivism rate is so high, right? But once again, you know what I'm saying, I do a lot of tangents, because I'll go off because these things are so meaningful to me. However, what I do want to explain to my people is this: we have to stop allowing people to disrespect us. We have to start making people pay a price when they disrespect us. Now, to the comment when they said that, what's the harm in the world? I'll tell you the harm. You tell me when another race of people allow themselves to be disrespected in America, and they don't make you, and they don't pay a price. Mr. Redder, awesome. My profile picture's up so you can see how much weight I lost. Okay, I'm definitely gonna see that. Man, Roselle, bang, bang, look, Jen Wealth. Allowing them to talk like that. And this is right. This is correct. However, what has happened is men have to come to a better end. If you really want the respect of your community, let me tell y'all something, man. And women don't respect is not given. Respect is not earned. Respect is taken. Don't nobody care what nobody thinks that you earned or you deserve. Nobody in this world gives a damn about what you believe you're entitled to. That's not the way the world works. You have to force people to respect you. And the fact that this man said, yeah, I said, what are you going to do about it? This is the issue. This is the issue. You have to, as black men, stop allowing people to speak any type of way in your communities that they want to speak, and accepting it, and then expecting that your women are going to submit to. Why would a woman to submit to a man who is not in control of his environment?
Why would she do that when she does not feel safe? A woman cannot nest unless she feels safe, black man. How can she feel comfortable if she thinks somebody's going to kick the door in at any point in time? How can she get comfortable to want to give birth to your children when she does not feel safe? We have to begin to address these things. But it starts with black men. You black men have to get tougher. Like you black men a lot of you black men are very, very weak. Now I get my white men controlling me and other people. I get that, right? But I'm specifically talking to black men specifically. The question is, why are you so comfortable with people disrespecting you? Why will you continue to give people a pass for disrespecting you? Why will you do that? Why will you do that? They've been allowing them to talk like that. This is facts, Gen Wealth, but the thing is, you have to, at some point in time, things happen. Because here's the thing, what people are going to do, now me personally, I don't have here's the issue. I'm actually happy he speaks like this. Because he's saying things that I've always said. These people don't respect you, and they're going to continue to push the boundaries. And as long as they push it, it's going to force black people into a choke point where they're not going to have a choice but to take a stand. Gen Wealth, it starts with us. We be out here disrespecting ourselves. Gen Wealth, let me tell you something. We have some issues in the community. I will be the first to acknowledge. You're not going to hear me. You're not going to get me pushback from me from that. But however, they're our issues to deal with. And another thing too, you have to understand that our position is unlike any others ever in the history of humankind. The black man and black woman has experienced. Yes, ma'am. Down here. You go right now. Yes, ma'am. I think it's around the corner. Yes. The thing about black people, what black people have to get through their heads more than anything, is that when you're dealing with these issues, you have to deal with them from a cerebral standpoint. Would somebody else allow it, right? Well, listen, everybody knows what happens when you speak ill about the Jews. Like, people even scared to even mention them. People, they like the boogeyman. You know what I'm saying? There's so many people, there's so much pride that they have, that if you say something about their community publicly, they're gonna pay a price. They want you to come back to the table. They want you to kiss ass in their community, and they expect somebody. It don't happen now. Let me see. I'm not submitting to any man, and you can't be a protector. I'm not submitting to any man, and you can't be a protector. That's his fact. Listen, you listen. Miss Toombs got to listen. She is 1,000% fact. This is a fact. And this is something we as black men have to deal with. We want to continue to try to point the finger and this, that, and the third. And we want to continue to deal with, you know what I'm saying? Black women, and you know what I mean? And how, they don't respect us, and they're buying into the feminist movement. We get all of that. But you as a black man, what are you going to do? What are you going to do to take your respect and stop looking for other people to give you a handout? And stop looking for other people to respect you because they should. It's not the way the world works. It's not the way the world works. Shout out to, let me see, the Nation of Islam seeks black self-respect through discipline, moral reform, and self-reliance. Is this the right method for earning respect in America? I think there's a lot of truth to the nation's teachings. I actually study them. I actually have friends in the nation whom I respect, brothers who are profound. I think that the nation has done a wonderful job in trying to uplift the mentally dead in America. But like everything else, it has its flaws, and nothing is perfect, right? Nothing is perfect. There is no one size fits all, right? I don't know if, here's the thing, right? There's a moral rigidness. There's a rigidness and a discipline that I really appreciate about the nation when it's done correctly. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I've been in prison. I've seen, those are the only guys. Let me say this. This is facts, and nobody can tell me differently because I lived it. Those are the only guys that I experienced in my 16 years that were in a religious organization that were not involved in homosexuality with the Nation of Islam. Now, let me say this. Let me highlight this, because I want to make sure this is important fact for me to make sure that I give it. The reason this is important is because when you say that you're changed, but you're still involving yourself in homosexual behavior, then what are you really saying, dog? What are you really saying? You know what I'm saying? What are you really saying? You a weak man, and not only that, you bring that garbage out here to our black women. Yeah, I said it. And a lot of you guys is out here doing it. So this is why I don't like, so I have respect for them brothers, because even if they were doing it, I never saw it. But a lot of these guys who are involved in these religious organizations, you know what I mean, are involved in it. So that has to be baked into this case. Shout out to Fancy. You live early. I'm on tip, Fancy. Appreciate you being here. A lot of things they say be the truth though. Yes, this is facts. Let me see what happened to the Justice or Else movement. Let me tell you something else. I'm with you in this regard. I don't believe that respect is. I don't believe that you listen. I'm not no nice guy. I'm not into trying to make friends and trying to hold hands with other races and you know what I'm saying, and other people. Listen, the black man in America has to get himself together with his woman. There's no way to join hands and link up with other people until you get yourself morally erect. Until you help you. How are we gonna help clean up somebody else's yard when our yard is filthy? Let me see. I think I gotta go back a little bit. Let me see. I appreciate you, a strong sister. Discipline, yes. So how do we solve the issue? Shout out to that, Gen Z. Here's the bottom line. Black people, listen, and this is specifically the black man. You brothers have to become stronger. You brothers have to become stronger. You have to stop being so forgiving and stop being so tolerant. A lot of you black men are very, very tolerant. You will excuse and absolve other people for anything, but yet choose to hold your own accountable to no end. And accountability is great. Yeah, sister, I'm with you. And accountability is a great thing. But however, it's up to us to hold each other. We have to do that as black people. What we don't do is continue to look to other races, you know what I mean, to do the things that we can do for ourselves. Black men have to begin to be stronger. And we have to stop looking to white people to clean up our issues. Fancy, you ain't my type. You wouldn't say that. You wouldn't say that if you knew her, brother. I don't know what you think about Fancy. Let me see. Him, we love trolls, and Stacey. Oh yeah. Stick around. I saw you at a Trump rally. Fancy, you must say, girl, bye. Fancy, you told. Oh, him. We got one in hot. Him, hit the like button, man. Be my first like, man. What? Listen, you in here, you gonna learn something, man? Go and learn something. Let a guy teach you something. What does Nation of Islam get wrong or need to change, and still the best path for black men in America? That is a great question. I don't know if I want to delve into that too much because I don't want to. Because what happens is I'll go on a tangent. And I'm not ever. And the next thing you know, I done took the conversation, you know what I'm saying, to someplace. And I tend to do that. That is a great question. So let me see if I'll come back to that at once I finish, you know what I mean, a lot of what needs to be said about us allowing white people to dictate, or excuse me, allowing other people to use the N-word in our presence. But as I always said, shout out to Fancy for being here. Thank you for being here. What we have to understand is if we truly want to be respected in America, if we truly want people to see us as a force in America, then it starts with taking it. And our men have to do that. Our men have to lead the path in that. And our women will see it, and they'll follow as a direct, because it's in them. They won't even have a choice, right? When you allow people to disrespect your community, I'm talking to all you. Listen, man. When y'all allow other races, listen. People say black people use it. Hey, listen, dig this here. That's for us to discuss. That's not for other people to tell black people what we should and shouldn't say. This is what white supremacy looks like. Who are you to tell us what the fuck we should or shouldn't do when you cooked up the circumstances and dropped us in it, right? And then we made the best out of what were the circumstances at hand we were dealt. And then you got the audacity to tell black people what to say and how to say it? Man, get the what? Like what? Who are you to tell black people what we should or shouldn't say? That's for us to deal with. That's for the black man and the black woman to come to terms with. That's for us. That's not for you to interpret it and to try to tell us what we should or shouldn't say. Who do you think you are? Like, who do you think you are? This is why black people get so upset in America, because not only have you never even truly given equity, you never even truly dealt with what black people really dealt with. Or in terms of, listen, as I've always said, slavery was not a moral issue. It was a financial one. So therefore, it deserves a financial reparation. You cannot take that away. The reason America is as rich as it is, I'll say that because it had 250 years worth of free labor, and then another 100 years of Jim Crow, right? And you continuously keep black people in a subservient. How did y'all think America got so powerful when nations have been around much longer? How did y'all think that America got so powerful? Because it is because of the slave trade. This is a fact. They get mad when they create issues. They get mad when they back. This is facts, right? This is our. You're right, Larry. And this is why I don't like when people say go to another country. Nigga, you go. My people, you got to be crazy if you think that my people fought, died in every single war. Black people are the only man who fought alongside the white man in every single major war in this country and fought valiantly. And bled and died and suffered for what we have. You think that you telling black people to just abandon it? Man, get up out of here. Brothers, we be frustrating ourselves. How so? Tell me what you mean, Jen Wealth. I'm not, no, move for what? Move for what? I think you said you would subscribe. Shout out to you, Jen Wealth. I think you said, hey, new subscriber, I appreciate you subscribing. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when you dealing with these things, y'all, when you're dealing with people, allowing people to disrespect you and how comfortable they get, they just continue to get more. It's like allowing somebody to walk into your house with their shoes on and kick their feet up and put them on the coffee table. What you think they're gonna do next? They walk in, go into your refrigerator, don't wash hands, open up the refrigerator door, grab your juice, grab your last Lunchable that you was saving. You had a Lunchable you was saving, or your little last, everybody know you got your last little bit of Jamaican food. Shout out everybody know I like, anybody y'all don't know I like that Jamaican food. Or you got your last little bit. You don't appreciate you, Larry Duncan, thank you. You got your last little bit, over there in the cut. And they just come in there, eat your little last. You know what I mean? Whatever. This is what people do. Now you got a mother sleeping in your bed. Right? Just jumping in your bed, you know what I'm saying? And just, just wipe the shoes off on you. This is what happens when you allow disrespect. And the black man is so used to taking disrespect that he doesn't even see when being that's the bitch of it to me. Most of you niggas don't even see when you being disrespected. You so goddamn dumb and deaf that you don't even see when somebody else is disrespecting you. You'll give a full whole reason why somebody should be able to disrespect you. Shout out to Jen Wealth. We be battling white men, Chinese, Arab, and then fight amongst ourselves. But this is why I like for these spaces. This is why I believe these spaces are important. Because what's happening is connecting black men from all over the country and getting us all on one accord, right? Because here's the thing, we can't help a lot of these niggas. A lot of these niggas just too dumb to be helped, right? And so we gotta let the, because we have so many men that would do anything in order to gain approval at their own people's expense. You can't help those people. So therefore you gotta just let those people, you gotta throw those people to the wolves. You know what I'm saying? You gotta throw those people to the wolves. Shout out to Hef. I don't know if I can pronounce that. I'm just gonna call you D. How about that, D? Demanding respect from others only comes after self-respect and keeping each other accountable. Listen, there's a part of that. There's a part of that that's absolutely true. D. There's 100. Listen, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm actually in agreement with your statement. But it comes from, we have to understand that we can't help. There's so much. This problem is so vast, right? And we it's that is difficult because the very foundation of it, the very foundation of this country is rape, theft, slavery, murder, genocide. This is the very core. They say it's built land of the free and home of the brave. All that shit is bullshit. This country was built on the very foundation and principles that I just stated, right? So everything that you build on top of that foundation, what do you think is gonna happen, right? And we're still, especially when you still see the remnants of it today, when we still feel and know that it's there. What they've done is they've done a good job in trying to mask it more. They've just done a good job in hiding their position. You know what I'm saying? They've done a better job. They don't necessarily walk around in white, and they don't walk around with white sheets on their head. They've traded those in for police uniforms, which we all know the KKK. That's how your first police force come about, right? You know what I'm saying? Was from those patrols, right? So they put them in healthcare. They made them judges. They made them prosecutors. They made them defense attorneys. Y'all know how many defense attorneys that I've seen give guys bad deals that I literally tried to help. I'm like, bro, you take that deal, nigga, you cooked. Listen to me, I'ma help. And the nigga actually listened to me and was home. And the defense attorney that told the nigga to sign a deal. like the whole system, like it's so corrupt that you can't even that you can't even get to that point, D. So we got to deal with it from at least in my opinion, D. Yes, blacks being accountable to ourselves, and this is why I say what I say, and I'm always hoping that black men, I don't have a problem, you know what I mean, being corrected or being taken. Because if somebody's caught me in some bullshit, call me on it. But I can speak like this because I live it. That's what I'm trying to say. I've lived it. I've been to war in prison against white boys. I was the type of guy who would catch assault batteries on staff. I did file 1983 lawsuits to try to change conditions in prison. I have filed lawsuits outside of prison, you know what I'm saying, for police brutality and shit like that would happen to me. So I'm not one of these guys. That's why I understand the 1983 lawsuit. So I get it. What we need more of us collectively, because I'm not strong enough to do this alone. And no black man is strong enough to do it alone. It has to be a collective unit. It has to be a collective effort. I'll catch you next slide. Appreciate you, Jen. Well, thank you for being here, man. Thank you. Eric Duncan. Who are strong, resilient people. Yeah, you 100%. Miss Duncan, the things that black people have experienced in America, no other race of people could have made it. But yet here we are. And this notion that black people didn't ever fight back, and listen, man, that's bullshit. Listen, ask Nat Turner, ask Gabriel Prosser, ask Denmark Vesey. Ask Harriet Tubman. And those are the names. I gave y'all some other names that y'all may not even know. We know who Harriet Tubman is. There were always people fighting. But the problem was we always had our own people that would say, you know what? The white man did a good job in saying, I can't control all of them, so I have to poison the few. And then so they would tell about things before they happened. Right? You would have those blacks who would tell about an uprising, who would tell about a revolt. See, black people are taught that we're supposed to be docile and just take it and just keep praying. I ain't with none of that shit, man. I'm not with that. Like, now other people can be what they want to be with. I'm telling you, I'm not with that. That bullshit ain't never did nothing good. That bullshit ain't never helped my people. Me praying and hoping that white people somehow give me opportunity and free my people from the very situation that they the ones cooked up. How unrealistic am I to think that my oppressor is somehow going to be the one to free me. What? And that his religion and his way of life is somehow going to save me. But in the end, this is what I always say. If you really truly want it, y'all got 84% of the wealth in this country. If you truly wanted to help black people in a way that was sufficient, where's this at? See, that's what we can't never get around, y'all. And that's why I don't give a fuck about your June 16th or 19th or whatever the fuck that holiday is, which I had never heard of till I was in the prison during COVID, that I think that Biden passed in order to make, you see black people out there, we sure be dancing. you niggas sure get to dancing and jig on a holiday. What the fuck is that? Yeah, they gave you a holiday, nigga, but what they won't give you is, but you know who they did give it to? The Jewish. You know who they did give it to? The Asians after Pearl Harbor. That's who they did give it to. You know, when the whites were having, I don't think y'all really understand how deep this thing goes. Do y'all know that black men have only ever really wanted to try to be white men in this regard? I mean, since we've been over in this country. The way we've lived, the way we moved, hey, my sister, the way we've lived, let me say, okay. The way we've lived and the way we moved, all we've ever wanted to, the whole gangster mentality comes from white people. I don't think our people really truly understand that the real gangsters were the mafia, the Irish, Jewish, and Italian immigrants that came over to America on boats in the late 1800s, early 1900s. These were the people who were gangsters. These were the people who were who were the gangsters. They were gunning each other down during Prohibition. This whole gangster mentality comes from them, but they romanticize their heroes. They make them, they continue to lift up those guys. They continue to make those guys seem that they were paragons of civility, while trying to say black men have been the scourge of their own society. That's all they did was operate their own communities, eating off their own communities, extorting their own communities, killing their own people. John God, who did you think, where did y'all think this stuff comes from? You think this stuff is made up? This is where it comes from, but they make it seem like it's something that has been just to us. But let me tell you what the government did for those people. Why do y'all think there's so many Irish in the police force? Why do y'all think there's so many Italians in the fire departments? Especially in New York, the government gave them a stimulus package. They knew they had to do something for them, and they gave the Jewish a lot of the buildings, and they have always done a good job in helping their people and helping other races. They gave them a stimulus package. The black man in America, the black man has never received a stimulus package. Why don't you look for love? Shout out to Scribble. Yes, ain't you from the script? She said, yes, I am. Yes, I am, real time. Yes, I am. Yep, I've been on there 3 times. Crazy. Yep, appreciate you for being here. You better listen, learn. This is facts. 482 Trump, aka he would say, yeah, I know he will. He done a good job. I'll tell you this. He done a good job. Listen, he has exploited his whiteness. Listen, let me tell you something about your president. I have a misrespect him. He has exploited his whiteness to 100. First of all, he was born on third base. His father, Frederick, was already successful. And then he parlays that into everything else he's done. The real estate deals, the scamming, the lying, the bankrupt, the not paying people, which he learned from his friend Roy Cohen, his mentor. Like, you know what I mean? And then he catches the multiple felonies, and he has one, and he was never an exceptional student. If I'm not mistaken, he was a C student at best. Talk about exploiting your whiteness, I'll give him credit for that. And then now he sits at the top of the food chain. He sits at the head of all tables as the president of the United States. Shout out to him. Let's see. Let me see. The whole world hates America. Yeah, yes, absolutely. But here's the thing: what they do is they kiss the ring. They kiss the ring, Larry, because in the end, they know that America spends the majority of its surplus. I think 60% goes towards the military, goes towards weapons, guns, things. You know what I'm saying? You know, things of that nature. So America puts its money. That's where it truly gets its power from. Is the military power that it can and holding people, basically, and holding the world at gunpoint. It can do that because they got the guns. You know what I'm saying? They have the weapons of mass destruction and stuff, like the same stuff, you know, that they said, you know, what was his name? The guy that went in and killed him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is what America does. It goes in, lies, cheats, steals, under the guise of freedom, right? That's the key. It goes in under the guise of setting people free, and yet they're pushing American imperialism. That's really what they really truly wish to push. And if they don't like you, if you don't bow down to them, then they'll crush you. Now, me personally, you can't break me because I'm just too stupid, right? I'll die for what I believe in. I would rather my daughters and be known as a man who died for what he believed in, as opposed to a man that lives on his knees. So the question is, what type of black man are you? Are you the type of man who would rather die on your feet or live on your knees? That's what it's really going to come down to. And because black men are being forced into a corner. And when you allow people to continuously disrespect you, how can you ever truly get respect? High achievement saying it says cap. High achievement was correct. Tell me what I said was incorrect. Appreciate you being here. Hit the like button for me, high achievements. What did I say that was cap? I don't have a problem with that. Just qualifying. That's what I'm into. I'm not into